Hello everyone, welcome to Ebasiq tutorials. Welcome to Git and GitHub Mastery video tutorial series. In this course, you will learn career-ready skills that will help you confidently use Git for version control and GitHub for collaboration. You can see hands-on and real-world demos in the series. Okay, so now let us in this video episode, so we'll understand about what is meant by version control. So what is VCS and what is the difference between the centralized and distributed version controls and then benefits like this. So what is a version control? So in this lecture, we will actually try to explore what version control system are, the difference between centralized and distributed systems, and why using Git can transform the way you work with code. So what is exactly a version control? So version control system actually helps track changes to file over time. You can say versions of your copy revert to their previous states and collaborate with others without overwriting each other's work. So instead of saving multiple copies, let's say project version 1, final copy, something like that. So the version control system like Git gives you a very clean, powerful way to manage changes effectively. Okay, so now if you see this, imagine you're writing a book in MS Word. Okay, every day you save your copy, and let's say I have version 1.docs, version 2, book version 2.docs, and book final version 3 revised latest docs. Now, if you see it's messy, what if you could track every change inside one file and go back to any other version anytime? Okay, that's what the version control does. So, but in a smarter and a cleaner way. Okay. So, uh, if you see the centralized as distributed version control system, the centralized version control system will have a centralized repository, as you see in this picture. And there are different clients, means different developers will be working and communicating with the central repository. Whereas in distributed versions control system, every developer have their own copies and there is a remote repository. Okay, so this is in this way the distributed version control is organized. Okay, so in a centralized version control system, if you see that image, there is only one central server. So everyone pulls and pushes code from this single point. The problem is if the central server goes down, that's it. Boom. You will lose everything. It's like one shared notebook for a group. If someone loses it, all data is gone. Okay. And now if you compare the centralized, as I said, single central server holds all files. So everyone pulls and pushes from to server. So some of the examples like SVN, CVS, Perfos. So if there is a server crash, all history may be lost. Okay. So now if you see the distributed version control system, here, like Git, every developer has a full copy of the repository with complete history. So even if one system fails, the others still have everything. So it's a safer, faster, and much more flexible. Like every person in a group having their own copy of the notebook. Good. Okay, that is the advantage. So if you see Git as distributed version control system, you can have a full local copy of the repository. Okay, and work offline and commit anytime. Fast and secure collaboration will be there. So easy branching and merging you can do. So you can also recover the lost commits using history tools like reflog, like that. Okay. Now, if you see the benefits of version control, like we can track changes, know what changed and when and by whom, and we can undo the mistakes. Means we can restore to the previous versions easily. And multiple people can work on the same code base, so there will be a good collaboration. And branching, so we can work on features separately without affecting the main project. And we can have a distributed copies, okay, as a backup. And we can contribute easily to public repositories like GitHub. So open source collaboration is also there. So if you see, you and let's say your friend are building a website together, you edit the copy of home page while they edit the contact page, but you both accidentally overwrite each other's work. What happens? Okay. So then in this case, with Git, each one of you can work on your part, track your changes, and merge the code later safely without losing the progress. So that kind of flexibility is there with Git that you will see over the future video series. I will explain in detail practically. Now, if you see the workflow of version control, especially for a Git, so we'll try to understand the working directory, staging area, local repository, remote repository like that. So if you see here, uh, you start in the working directory first, add changes to the staging area, and commit to your local repository, and then finally push them to the remote repository like GitHub. So each step serves as a unique purpose in making your code changes safe, organized, and shareable. Okay. So what happens in working directory? The files, the working directory is your actual project folder on your computer or wherever you are working in your environment. This is where you write, edit, or build your code, like working in your Visual Studio Code or any other IDE. So, but these changes are not tracked by Git until you explicitly tell it to do. Okay. Now, staging area is a index, is like a shopping cart. Okay, where you add using a command git add to place your changes in it. Okay, it allows you to choose what changes should go into your next snapshot or a commit. So you can think of it like a packing specific clothes for a trip. Only what you pack will go with you. Okay, like that. That is called a staging area. So next, local repository. Once your changes are staged, you commit them to the local repository using git commit command. So this is your personal project history. You now have currently you have a versioned snapshot that you can go back to anytime. Okay. And the best part of all is that works offline too. Okay, this is about local repository. Now, the remote repository, here the remote repository lives on the platforms like cloud, like GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket, like that. It's where you push your local commits using Git push and where you can pull updates from your team as well. So it acts as a cloud backup and collaboration hub and letting teams work together from anywhere. Okay. So this is what we have seen so far in this video, understanding the version control system and the workflow of the Git. Okay, in the next video, we will try to understand how to work with GitHub or Git locally in your system and how to create Git commands, how to download, install Git, and then how to work with Git. We'll do some sample code and then we will play with the Git commands. Okay, so so what you can do, here is my GitHub link. This is a public link. You can see I have contributed many Python projects, Python code, artificial intelligence, machine learning, generative AI, full stack. So a lot of things I have contributed here. You can, whenever you feel, you can see this, for example. So there are Python projects. I have added a couple of project library management system, the source code for that. Like that you can view. Okay. So we'll work with this, how to add, create repos in GitHub and locally, and how can we push our code to GitHub. So all these things we'll see in the future videos. Okay. For now, thank you for watching the video. In the next coming video episodes, we will try to understand more about Git and GitHub and version control system. So don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share to your friends and networks. Thank you.